Hey guys, welcome back. We're on our way to a local guy's house because he's got an old muscle car and he needs some help.
That's right, we're on our way to perform another driveway rescue, and we've got a van full of parts from rockauto.com to help us get this thing going. Well, we're here. Let's see what we're dealing with. Today's project is a 1967 Chevelle convertible.
My father bought it back in the late 70s. He had it until 88 when I bought it from him. Then I painted it and redone it. Then it got parked again a few years ago.
Guys, this is Jackie Smith and his old Chevelle. Was there any particular reason why you kind of took it off the road?
A couple of reasons. It had carburetor issues. It was flooding out real bad, and the brakes, they were getting spongy. When you're sitting at a red light, they would just go to the floor, and it was getting scary to drive.
I can understand pulling it off the road. We've got a bunch of parts in the truck from rockauto.com, so let's get started. rockauto.com sent us all the parts that we're going to be needing to work on this old Chevelle. We'll get the car on the jack stands so we can work on the brakes first.
What do you think about this one?
Well, you've got spiders living in there, so, well, these shoes look worn too, but they look dry. So what we're looking for is this wheel cylinder here will leak here on the ends, and this thing will be wet. And also, if the axle seal leaks, it'll get wet under here, and if the leak's real bad, there'll be fluid all over everything. We'll remove the old springs and hardware, then take off those worn out brake shoes. Now that we've got the brake shoes out of the way, you can see it is a little wet here on the ends. It's not leaking much now, but the car's been parked for about 9 years. If you started driving this thing and started operating this wheel cylinder, it'd probably leak a lot more. Well, we got our wheel cylinder on and we're getting ready to install the brake shoes. We got new brake shoes from Rock Auto, but while we were at it, we went ahead and got this hardware kit. Should make it a little easier to go back together. Once we adjust them with a brake spoon, that is. With the new shoes and fresh hardware, the brakes should feel like they did straight from the factory. We're gonna add some anti-seize to the hub to keep that new drum from binding to it over time. Remember earlier I was talking about the spoon? Well, that's this tool right here. Goes in that hole through the brake drum and contacts the adjuster. This is the old one that we took off. And as you roll this adjuster downward, it's gonna unscrew here and make this adjuster longer. As it gets longer, it's gonna push out on those shoes. And if you keep adjusting, well, they're gonna touch the drum. You want them to just touch. You don't wanna go too far, because if it does, it's gonna drag even when you're not pushing the pedal. But if you get it where they just touch, that way when you hit the pedal, you get brakes immediately. That's what you want. Jackie is gonna unhook the old brake lines from the master cylinder so that we can replace it with a new one that we got from rockauto.com. With the new one installed, Jackie will fill up the reservoir with brake fluid so we can start bleeding the brake system.
All right, Jackie, pump her up.
Just like that, we have stopping power.
Now, I know you mentioned earlier that you kind of parked this old car because the carburetor was giving you some fits, right?
Yes, it was flooding out real bad and just wasn't running right.
Well, before we dive into that, let's go ahead and swap out the ignition components, because this car being, you know, sitting as long as it has, it's probably pretty corroded up.
Okay, I'm game for that.
Cool.
I'll go get some parts.
All right. Ooh, so black soot in here is kind of a sign of wear, and you can also see by the button here, it's flat. It's supposed to be kind of round. Plus there's some corrosion in here on the contacts, so we definitely need to do a tune-up. We're going to begin with replacing components on the distributor. We'll start by swapping out the rotor, then replace the distributor cap, moving the coil from the old cap to the new one. And then reinstall it back onto the distributor. Next is removing the old plugs and wires. then replacing them with brand new ones. Then we will remove the old carburetor and gasket. We'll add a fresh gasket and drop in a new carburetor and bolt it down. All right, we're ready to go ahead and start adjusting the carburetor. Everything's installed. Mark, if you would, go ahead and crank it up. Now, whenever we do this, we're gonna have to set the idle on the thing, and then we'll let it warm up for a bit. And after that, we're gonna adjust the air fuel mixtures with these two screws under here. Now, also, we're gonna be using a vacuum gauge to help adjust everything. And what you'll do is you'll crank in that screw and watch your needle. As it starts to drop, well, you wanna stop and start backing up. As soon as it stops increasing, that's where you wanna be.
Well, now that Tommy got the carburetor all dialed in, we can get some wheels and tires back on this thing, get it back on the ground, give Jackie the keys and take it for a spin.
You ready to go riding?
Well, we have us another successful driveway rescue thanks to Rock Auto. The brakes are working, it's running real well, and now him and his family can go out and enjoy that old car.
Come on, Lily, get up here. Come on, girl.